Hey, good morning, church. Hope you guys are having a great morning so far. So, as you know, we're studying through the Old Testament right now, and we are into the book of Zechariah. Now, we just finished Haggai, and we are into Zechariah. Now, Zechariah is the 11th of the 12 minor prophets, and so we're in chapter 1 today. We're starting off, and it starts off like a lot of the other books. As you know, the other 10 that we just finished studying through. You see how Israel and Judah have turned away from God, and God sent these prophets to them to turn them back. And then they stay with God for a little while, then they turn away. And then they send another prophet and they come back, right? And so, I mean, that's a lot like how we are now, is we stay with God for a long time, and then we get off track, and then he sends something our way, and then we go back to him, right? So, and we're into Zechariah right now, and if you want to start out in chapter 1, it's starting out a lot like every other of the minor prophets. So if we go into verse 4, it says, "Do not be like your ancestors. The earlier prophets proclaimed to them, this is what the Lord of hosts says, turn from your evil ways and your evil deeds, but they did not listen or pay attention to me. This is the Lord's declaration. Where are your ancestors now? And do the prophets live forever? But did my words and my statutes that I commanded my servants and the prophets overtake your ancestors? They repented and said, as the Lord of hosts purposed to deal with us for our ways and deeds, so he has dealt with us." So Zechariah is starting off with God talking to him and saying that obviously this has happened before. What happened with everybody else, with the other prophets? My word stays forever, and they died off, right? So if we keep reading, we're getting into, we're about to see 8 different visions that Zechariah has. We're only going to look at 2 of them today in the first chapter, but we're about to study through 8 different visions, right? So the first vision is of Horseman, right? So Horseman is a very common vision in the Bible. We see about it a lot, especially in Revelation. But if we start out, what you're looking at, and as you read through this, is Zechariah is taken with an angel into this vision, and he's seeing all these different horsemen. And so they asking questions about the horsemen. But then we get into verse 12. It says, "Then the angel of the Lord responded, 'How long, Lord of hosts, will you withhold mercy from Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, that you have been angry with for these 70 years? The Lord replied with kind and comforting words to the angel who was speaking with me. So the angel who was speaking with me said, proclaim, the Lord of hosts says, I am extremely jealous for Jerusalem and Zion. I am fiercely angry with the nations that are at ease, for I was a little angry, but they made it worse. Therefore, this is what the Lord says. In mercy I have returned to Jerusalem. My house will be rebuilt within it, and a measuring line will be stretched out over Jerusalem." So we see that God has been angry, and now he's turning, and he's basically saying, you rebuild this temple in Jerusalem, and I will continue to bless you. So then the second vision is pretty straightforward. It says, "Then I looked up and saw 4 horns, so I asked the angel who was speaking with me, 'What are these?' And he said to me, 'These are the horns that scatter Judah, Israel, and Jerusalem.' Then the Lord showed me 4 craftsmen. I asked, 'What are they coming to do?' He replied, 'These are the horns that scatter Judah, so no one could raise his head. These craftsmen have come to terrify them, to cut off the horns of the nations that raised their horns against the land of Judah, to scatter it.'" So we see that this common pattern of Israel and Judah going, turning away from Jesus, or turning away from God, and God turning them back. And now right here we see the first 2 visions that God is ready to accept them back and ready to have them come back to him. And he's really excited for them. And he's sending these craftsmen to tear off the horns. So I hope this helped you guys out, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. God bless.